All right, the lesson that we're going to cover right now is how to take our image and do a panoramic, and then take it and turn it into a little mini world. So we're going to do a 360-degree panoramic image, and then we're going to wrap it around on itself to give ourselves a really very unique looking image. All right, so basically the way that we're going to start this lesson is we have our images, and you'll notice that I have these images lined up here in order of the default image number that's been given to it when the file was created on my camera. And you're going to do the same thing. So what you'll basically need to be able to do is to locate your files and then organize them so that they're ready to be placed into the browser for the photo merge. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to show you. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these into Photoshop. So let's go ahead and open Photoshop. We're going to take these, load them into Photoshop, and we're going to use the photo merge to merge them together. And it doesn't take very long. This really isn't a long process. You basically just need to know the steps of the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is locate my files. Then I'm going to go to my file and open up my file menu and go to the Automate and Photo Merge. As soon as I do that, I get a little browser window, and I'm going to keep my selection on Auto and select Browse, and then I'm going to install or load the files that I have, and here they are right here. Here they are listed on my desktop, and I'm just going to have to place each one of these into this menu and just try to remember not to add the wrong ones. And this is a pretty simple process. Not a big deal. And so just a little time consuming, but other than that it's really very simple. And I believe that was my last image. So there you have it. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to go ahead, and now I've selected what I want and select the OK button, as long as I have everything in order that I want here. Now we're going to let our program do its work. And it's pretty simple. It may take a minute or two. As you can see, the screen is changing and adding each layer and working away. Really not much to do until the program finishes what it's doing. And once it's done, there you go. You see a little see that the layers are being placed in the order and stitched together. And so once this process is done where it's stitching together the images, you'll have one nice long panoramic image. The other thing that I wanted to talk about while this is happening and while it's loading is you're going to be better off using a real digital camera rather than your cell phone. If you use your cell phone, you may run into problems when it's this process right here where it's stitching together the images. And it looks like we're almost finished. And as we're waiting for our image to come up on our screen, we'll see how well our layers were stitched together. And this, as I said, is the longest part of the process. There's not much you can do until it is completed. So as you're waiting, the one thing that I would think about next is the next step. Once this is completed, is we're going to take all of our layers and flatten them into one layer. Now you can see it's stitching together. Looks really nice. As you can see, we've got the left side of our image and the right side of our image are the last two images together, so we're going to overlap. The one thing that we most likely will do is we will crop the end of this image here and crop over here so that the images work together. So I have more over here than I do over here, so I'm going to probably crop off the tree and then install right at this point over here. So I'm going to be very precise with that. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see how level this image is. If the left side is a little lower than the right side, then I'm going to possibly rotate. So let's take a little look here and see. We'll put it right on the top of the tree. Wow, it's pretty close. So we're not going to have to do any other work there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take these layers and we're going to flatten them. We're going to make this into one image layer. Before we do that, let's go ahead and open our layers. And now you can see all the layers that have been put together. So let's go ahead and take these layers and flatten them. Now we're going to have one simple layer. Let's unlock this lock so that we can crop. If we don't unlock that lock, we won't be able to crop. So we'll take our crop tool, and I can, most likely now I can close this layer menu, and I'm going to crop this. I'm going to try to get as much of this image as I can just at the start here and crop all the way, just making sure that I get as much of the image when I first lay out the crop tool as I can. And as you can see, I'm staying inside this area here, and here there's a little bit of a glitch here. And now I have to decide, I don't want this tree, so I'm going to move right in here into this corner of the image, and I'm going to try to get just about as close as I can over on this side to about the same placement of that image. And there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and crop this image. Alright, now we're pretty much done with the most difficult part of this project. Not real difficult so far. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to image size. We're going to select the image size, and now we're going to replace this highlighted number in the width with this height number. So we're just going to type that in, 1772, and what this is going to do is give us a squared image. It's going to distort our image drastically, and notice it looks very small. So we're going to zoom in here, and you can just do a Command plus. Oh, here we go, and I'm going to zoom in. And now what we're going to do is a very simple step. We are now going to save this, and that's a real easy, simple step. Title it, I'm just going to name it Panorama 1. So we'll get rid of part of that. And save, make sure you save it. That way the next step when you go to filter is the distort filter, and now you can use your polar coordinates. And when we do this, we're basically just going to go ahead and create this image. Now there's something I didn't do correctly. Let's back up. I have to rotate this 180 degrees or turn it upside down, because if I do the polar coordinates first, it's going to wrap it in the wrong direction. So let's go ahead and go to image, rotate 180 degrees. There we go. We can save one more time. You don't have to, but I'm a little bit that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go to filter now, distort, and polar coordinates. And there you go. Now we have the correct looking image. And we're going to zoom out here. Notice I'm on rectangular polar and clicking on the, selecting the minus. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more. And there we go. I think I'm just going to leave it there and say OK. And now you can see our buildings do match up fairly well. Not great, but when you apply yours, you'll probably be able to get a little bit better effect. I'm going to turn this around. Now that I've done the polar coordinate, I can go ahead and rotate this canvas, and there we go. This makes it a little bit better to me because I can't quite see as much of the where these buildings meet and wrap up. Now what I would do at this point is I would probably take some of my blending tools, blend this area in here where these corner of these two buildings meet, and then nobody's going to notice the difference. Alright, that's the lesson here. Now I'm going to save this work and make sure that I have it saved. You can see it's now saved on my screen here, and good luck to you. If you need any help, just email me or call me over in class. Good luck to you.